Montrose Bank stood tall in the heart of Houston's financial district. Every day, million-dollar deals and polished shoes passed through its glass doors. On this particular Monday, everything seemed normal, until a black man stepped inside with a check in his hand. Malcolm Hayes, in his 40s, tall, dark-skinned, dressed in a tailored gray suit, walked into the leather-scented, wood-paneled banking hall with quiet confidence. Though he carried himself with dignity, he immediately felt the weight of curious glances. He was used to it. Malcolm nodded politely to the front desk staff and made his way to the teller line. "Good morning," he said, placing the check gently on the counter. "I'd like to withdraw this amount." The young teller, Clara, looked at the check and blinked. The figure printed on it was large, very large. She hesitated, then forced a polite smile. "I'll need to call our manager to approve this, Mr. Hayes." Malcolm nodded. "Take your time." A few minutes later, Richard Crane appeared. Mid-50s, graying temples, expensive suit, and the kind of man who believed he could read people with a handshake. One glance at Malcolm and Richard made a silent judgment. This man was suspicious. He picked up the check and eyed Malcolm with thinly veiled skepticism. "Do you have any ID?" Malcolm calmly handed over his license. Richard glanced at it briefly before handing it back. "I'll need to verify the origin of this check. It's a substantial amount." Malcolm nodded again. "The contact info of the issuer is on the check. Feel free to call." But Richard was already shaking his head. "I don't have time to verify what's obviously questionable. A check like this, it doesn't look right." Malcolm narrowed his eyes slightly. "And why exactly doesn't it look right?" Richard stepped back, voice dripping with condescension. "Let's be honest here. People like you don't usually walk in with checks like this. You know what I mean?" A hush fell over the lobby. Other customers looked up. Clara, the young teller, looked mortified. Malcolm stood tall, calm as ever. "Are you denying me service based on facts or on personal bias?" Richard scoffed. "Try your luck at another branch, sir." Malcolm pulled out his phone. "I see. Then I'll handle this a different way." He made a quiet call. "Yes, I'm at the Montrose branch. There's an issue with the transaction. Please come." 10 minutes later, the glass doors turned again. 3 people entered, 2 men and a woman, all in sleek corporate attire. The woman, tall and sharp-eyed, scanned the room and walked straight toward Richard. "You must be Richard Crane." "Yes, and you are?" "Jenna Morris, Regional Vice President, Southern Division." She handed him a card, then turned to Malcolm. "Mr. Hayes, I came as soon as I got your call." Murmurs rippled through the room. Jenna continued, her voice firm. "The man you just dismissed is Malcolm Hayes, chairman of the board of Montrose Financial Group." The room froze. Someone dropped a folder. A man near the door dropped his coffee cup. Richard Crane turned ghost white. "This can't be," Richard stammered. Malcolm's voice was calm but carried weight. "You assumed. You didn't ask. You didn't verify. You judged me on sight." Jenna stepped forward. "Your actions today violated our code of conduct. You didn't just fail to serve a client, you failed to uphold our values." Richard opened his mouth but couldn't speak. The truth hung heavy in the room. Malcolm turned to address the customers and employees watching in stunned silence. "This isn't just about me. It's about how we treat people when we think no one's watching. I walked in here expecting fair service. Instead, I was humiliated." He looked at Clara, the teller. "You did the right thing. Don't let fear stop you from standing for what's fair." Clara nodded, visibly emotional. Malcolm continued, turning back to the room. "Respect isn't earned by money or status. It's owed to every human being who walks through these doors." Jenna added, "Mr. Hayes, we apologize. Training and disciplinary action will begin immediately. What happened here is unacceptable." Malcolm simply nodded. "I'll be watching closely. Words matter, but actions matter more." As Malcolm stepped outside into the bright Houston sunlight, the door closed behind him with a quiet click. He glanced back once at the building, then looked down at his phone. A message from Jenna lit up the screen. "Crane has been suspended. Staff-wide equity training begins next month. Thank you for your grace." Malcolm replied, "Thank you for listening. Change starts with awareness and grows through accountability." As he walked down the sidewalk, his pace steady, one thought lingered. Maybe someone inside that bank today would walk away with a new perspective. Maybe next time, someone would choose fairness over assumption. This wasn't about revenge. This was about justice, about dignity, and about the truth that respect isn't a luxury, it's a basic expectation. If you've ever felt overlooked, judged, or dismissed, remember Malcolm Hayes, and know that standing tall, even in silence, can speak louder than any voice.